We all think about getting older, but what if aging isn't something that just happens to us? Today, we're diving into how you can actually take control of the process, how to shift from aging by default to aging by design.
This really is the big question, isn't it? What if this whole aging thing isn't some inevitable decline, but a journey that you get to shape? It's a really powerful idea, and it's all about giving you the tools to take the wheel.
So to do that, we're going to break it down into three core pillars. First, building a super strong physical foundation. Second, nurturing our cognitive health, keeping our mind sharp. And third, creating a secure plan for the future. Let's kick things off with the body.
Okay, so as we get older, our bodies, they naturally face some new challenges. But here's the cool part. Science shows us there are some incredibly powerful, actionable things we can all do to build and maintain a strong physical foundation for life.
Let's start with two of the biggest hurdles we hear about: osteoporosis and sarcopenia. Honestly, you can just think of them as the twin challenges of aging. Osteoporosis, that's about bone loss, making them weak and fragile. And sarcopenia, that's about muscle loss. And when you put them together, well, you get a higher risk of frailty and falls that can seriously impact our independence.
So, what's the game plan? The American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons really doesn't mince words. They say it loud and clear. Inactivity causes loss of bone. It's so simple, but so powerful. It tells us that the biggest culprit in bone loss isn't just time passing. It's what we do or don't do with that time.
And this gets right to the heart of why being active is so critical. See, we tend to think of our skeleton as this static, unchanging frame, but that's not right at all. Our bones are actually living, dynamic tissue. Just like your muscles, when you put productive stress on them, they get a signal that says, hey, time to rebuild and get stronger. And that's how they become denser.
Okay, so what does this productive stress actually look like in the real world? Well, research points to a kind of three-part recipe for strong bones. First, weight-bearing stuff, where you're on your feet, like a brisk walk or a hike. Second, high-impact exercises, like dancing or tennis, that really send those get-stronger signals to your bones. And third, strength training, which is amazing because it builds both the muscle and the bones they're attached to.
Here's a great way to think about it. Your bone health is like a bank account. We make our biggest deposits when we're young, hitting our peak bone mass by around age 30. After that, the whole game shifts from building to preserving. The goal is to slow down the natural withdrawal process, which really means it is never too early or too late to start investing in your bone health.
And that brings us perfectly to our second pillar, cognitive health. Because a strong body is vital, absolutely, but so is a sharp, resilient mind. And you know what? Just like our bones need that productive stress, our brains need their own kind of workout to really thrive. And that's all about engagement and connection.
I want to start here with just one number: 101,581. That's how many people took part in this huge international study on aging. The sheer scale is just incredible. It spanned 24 different countries, which gives its findings some serious weight.
And the key takeaway from that massive study? Well, they found a clear and direct link between social isolation and a drop in cognitive abilities. We're talking memory and what scientists call executive function, which is basically our brain's CEO in charge of planning and organizing. This isn't just about feeling a little lonely. It's a measurable hit to our brain's health.
Now, it's really important to get specific about what researchers mean by social isolation. This isn't just about the feeling of loneliness. It's an objective, measurable thing. Having very few social ties, a small network, and not interacting with people very often. You could be in a crowded room and still be socially isolated.
And this right here is a critical distinction we have to make. Social isolation is the unwanted state of being disconnected. Solitude, on the other hand, is the choice to be alone. It's not a negative at all. It's a deliberate act of carving out time and space just for yourself.
So the takeaway isn't to avoid being alone. It's to avoid being isolated. In fact, choosing solitude can have some amazing benefits. It can be a real engine for creativity and self-reliance. That quiet space gives us time to reflect and really helps us solidify who we are, away from all the noise of the world. So, we've covered strengthening the body and engaging the mind. Our third and final pillar is all about preparing for the unexpected, the plan. This is where we get practical and take concrete steps to make sure our wishes are respected no matter what the future holds.
A really important tool for this is the power of attorney, or POA. To put it simply, it's a legal document that lets you pick a trusted person, your agent, to make decisions for you if you become unable to. You can think of it as your voice. In writing, ready for the future.
And the advice from experts on this is crystal clear. Start early, plan ahead, and don't wait until things are tough. That's really the golden rule of planning. A power of attorney is basically useless if you wait for a crisis. It has to be set up before it's ever needed, while you're still fully in the driver's seat.
So how does it work? There are basically 3 essential requirements. First, you, they call you the principal, have to be the one to kick things off. Second, you have to be mentally competent when you sign the papers. And third, you designate a trusted agent who is legally required to act in your best interests. It's a plan built on foresight and trust.
So as we pull this all together, it becomes pretty clear that proactive aging isn't just about one thing. It's a whole integrated practice. The strong body is like the roots, the engaged mind is the branches, and that secure plan, well, that's the fruit. Each part supports and nourishes the whole system.
And that leaves us with one final thought. Look, aging is inevitable. We all know that. But thriving is a choice. It's a series of small, proactive steps that we take every single day. So the question for you is, what's the one step you're going to take today?